I was the boss's girlfriend for 3 years, and I naively thought he would marry me, but when he slapped me in the face after trusting someone to accuse me of leaking important projects, my innocence was gone. So when he pressed me to apologize, I said I was breaking up and quitting. Fine, then I quit, I said with a smirk, pulling off my employee badge and tossing it onto Nate's desk. But let's be clear about one thing. I'm resigning, Mr. Sinclair. You're not firing me. My gaze flicked to Isabella, who stood nearby, practically glowing with smug satisfaction. Without hesitation, I slipped off the matching watch from my left wrist, Nathaniel's gift, and placed it beside the badge. Oh, and this is official notice. I'm breaking up with you, Nathaniel. I turned and walked away, not sparing him or Isabella another glance. Isabella stood frozen, her composure cracking as the weight of my words sank in. Nate, you and she. Nathaniel's face darkened as he stared at the items I had left on his desk. Does that bother you? He asked coldly. Isabella quickly shook her head. No, not at all. Why should I care? As long as it's over between you two. She'd always known about us but never hesitated to undermine me, knowing full well her family's alliance with the Sinclairs took precedence over my place in Nate's life. Now that I had willingly stepped aside, her ambitions were clearer than ever. She opened her mouth to say more, but quickly shut it when she met Nathaniel's icy glare. Miss White, he said in a dangerously low tone, I suggest you stay in your lane. The warning sent a visible shiver through her, silencing her protests. Meanwhile, I returned to my desk and began packing my belongings. Fives with Nathaniel. Wasted. He had no heart, and I refused to waste another ounce of my emotions on him. In less than 2 minutes, I had my things boxed and was heading toward the elevator. Just as I reached it, Isabella's syrupy voice rang out. Miss Windsor, did you check what you're taking? We wouldn't want you walking out with one of our project plans, now would we? Her faux concern made me clench my teeth as she glanced at the other staff in the office, daring them to join in her theatrics. Well, why are you all just standing there? Shouldn't someone check to make sure Ms. Windsor is taking anything that doesn't belong to her? One of the employees hesitated before stepping forward. Ms. White is right, Serafina. I'll need to check your box. Just a formality. I raised my hand, stopping him before he could touch anything. My voice was sharp, cutting through the tension. You don't need to check anything. I turned on my heel and strode toward Isabella. You want to see if I've taken anything from the company? Fine, let's settle this quickly. Without waiting for a response, I lifted the box above her head and tipped it over. Its contents spilled out in a cacophony of noise. Papers, pens, and personal items scattering across the floor. The room went silent. Isabella froze, her face a picture of shock, before letting out a shrill scream. Serafina, are you insane? I calmly placed the now empty box on top of her head. No, I'm not. I'm just helping you inspect my things, as you requested. Her face burned with rage as she yanked the box off her head. Her hand shot up, clearly intending to slap me, but this time, I caught her wrist effortlessly. At that moment, the CEO's office door swung open, and Nathaniel stepped